From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
Good afternoon and welcome to your MTN Noon News for this Monday. I'm Hailey, Monaco. Now we are learning new details out of northeastern Montana after Wolf Point police in Roosevelt County say one person is dead, another injured, and a third, the suspect, still at large. Wolf Point police say the victim was shot in the parking lot of an Albertsons store. Officers say the suspect, identified as Ethan Murphy, was reported at large as of 10:35 last night. Police say an officer found one deceased person and another person with a gunshot wound about 2 hours earlier. The officer provided medical assistance to the injured person until emergency medical services arrived, and the victim was taken to Trinity Hospital in Wolf Point. The names of the victims are being withheld pending notification of their families. In the meantime, a shelter in place has been lifted for Wolf Point as law enforcement continue to look for Murphy, who is still at large and considered armed and dangerous. And officers say several leads are being followed up on. The Wolf Point School District and Frontier School have both canceled classes for today following the report. We are looking back at 1 year ago when the Elk Fire tore through a large part of Wyoming wilderness. Now, starting on Saturday, September 27th, that fire scorched 100,000 acres, leaving lasting damage in Sheridan and Johnson counties. Fast forward to today, the message is still the same: communities helping communities. And MTN's Mac Carmack reports.
With what began as a lightning strike quickly turned into devastation.
It was challenging for everyone.
I know that I never want to have to do that again.
I stood in this exact same spot almost 1 year ago today, and as you can see, the scars from this destructive and devastating wildfire still remain. The Elk Fire was one of the most catastrophic events the Bighorn National Forest has ever experienced.
Now, a year later, you can look out at the mountain and it looks a lot different.
Any other year, this region of the Bighorn National Forest would be a vivid evergreen. Now, black ash, dead trees, and little sign of life remain.
I don't think everybody can say they've been that close to a fire.
Definitely the mountain looks a lot different than it did before.
The Elk Fire burned for 48 consecutive days, impacting 3,000 residents and 10,000 acres of forest. Looking back, if you ask any Sheridan County survivors about the Elk Fire, two themes arise: community and calamity.
Everybody coming together was a collaborative effort, and at the federal level when we had that critical incident management team come in. But I think the collaboration between all of the first responders and our community was something special to see.
The Sheridan County Sheriff's Office was responsible for evacuating all residents in the danger zone. Sheriff Levi Dominguez tells me it was the collaboration between first responders and the community that saved the day.
Our community came together at a time of need.
And just like how first responders evacuated those in danger,
The first responders helped us in getting employees down the mountain.
those in the community acted as a stabilizing shoulder for the first responders. For instance, the Tongue River Valley Community Center acted as a meeting zone.
Both of our centers got used a lot during that time, but it was real emotional. As it just was affecting so many people.
The Bear Lodge Resort opened up shelter and refuge.
We did have some people that stayed here initially that were helping with bathrooms for the firefighters that were helping, and some of the firefighters stayed here.
And the Parkman Bar and Grill kept the first responders fed.
I'm sure that we would all come together again to support one another, which is what we all do here.
Even though the Elk Fire left devastation, those affected say it was an opportunity for learning, healing, and collaboration.
It was really emotional. We had employees, donors, members that were being directly affected.
It helped us to solidify a lot of our emergency plans, or, make sure that everyone knew what we would do in case of an emergency. Our community here in Sheridan and surrounding areas and states reached out to me with the most community support I've ever seen or even heard of, and I've done a lot of things in my short time.
Remembering the Elk Fire in Sheridan County, Matt Carmack, MTN News.
In continuing coverage, it's a story of amazing recovery out of Red Lodge, a story we've covered here on MTN extensively, where a man was struck by a rock the size of a microwave, but was somehow able to make it to safety thanks to a prompt rescue effort. I caught up with the man who says he's grateful to be alive and now tells us his story.
I definitely knew my right side was broke.
Cody Boehm never imagined a routine climbing trip with friends would end in an intense rescue mission.
I was feeling like I wasn't gonna make it. I was just, there was a point there where I was like, this is bad.
A boulder came crashing down, hitting Boehm first in the head, then breaking his collarbone, ribs, and leaving a large laceration in his back.
Where I was kind of steep, lots of rock, really terrible terrain.
Which made getting him down difficult, but not impossible.
The trail had a bunch of trees falling everywhere, so they had a tree crew out there cutting trees down in front of me. They had the Red Lodge Fire rescue crew out there, search and rescue. I mean, they did amazing.
From Red Lodge Fire Rescue and the Beartooth Ranger District getting him out of the forest to the care at Billings Clinic.
The pre-hospital personnel who were involved in Cody's care deserve significant praise and a lot of kudos.
This is that tube that's in your chest here.
He was significantly injured.
From the moment the accident happened Sunday afternoon to now, on his way to recovery, one thing is certain.
If he wasn't wearing a helmet, he would have had significant and severe intracranial injury, which likely would have been life-threatening.
Your helmet will save your life, no matter what, because they hit me in the head. If I didn't have my helmet on, I wouldn't be here today. I'm pretty close to knowing that.
In Billings, Hailey, Monaco, MTN News. Now, Cody shares he is looking forward to getting back out there and climbing again. It's a warm start to the week. That fall will only allow for so much longer. We're checking in with meteorologist Miller Robson for what you can expect.
It is a beautiful start to the week. A lot of sunshine across the area, but some areas dealing with some smoke. More on that in just a second. Right now, Helena, you're sitting at 63, 69 in Missoula, as well as Havre. Down in Livingston, we're at 71. Up in Kalispell, feeling good at 68. Over on the east, 75 in Miles City, 72 in Billings. Down in northern parts of Wyoming, we're in the mid 70s. I mentioned some areas are borderline unhealthy with the smoke, but we do have that flow coming in from the southwest. Hopefully, it's going to help push that stuff out as we move along through the next couple of days, give us some clear skies. But just be mindful of that if you have a sensitivity to smoke. Also, some rain in the area. We'll tell you all about that coming up.
Now time for today's leading look as we follow some of the other stories making headlines. A Billings man accused of leading police on a dangerous chase after pulling off an armed robbery at Rimrock Mall pleaded not guilty in court. 30-year-old Cameron Lee Watson is facing 5 felony charges: robbery, assault on an officer, criminal endangerment, tampering with evidence, and drug possession. According to police, Watson showed a knife and told employees at Hot Topic that he also had 2 guns. He was arrested after a high-speed chase through a golf course in residential neighborhoods. In Gallatin County, Belgrade police responded to reports of drive-by gunshots last Friday night. Officers were called to the 200 block of Spooner Road. Police say they spoke with several people at a home and tracked down a driver possibly involved. A search warrant was executed but turned up no evidence. Police say no one was hurt and no property was damaged. Earlier this year, the Republican-led U.S. Congress approved tighter rules on federal Medicaid spending, but they also set aside $50 billion for a fund to help alleviate the impacts of those changes on rural hospitals. Now, states like Montana are putting together applications for a share of that money. MTN senior political reporter Jonathan Ambarian has a closer look at how it could be used.
Sherry Taylor says for many rural healthcare providers in Montana, they have ideas on ways technology and other investments could help them provide better services to their patients.
We have a lot of opportunities that we've known about. We just haven't had the funds to invest in to make it happen.
Taylor is president of Logan Health Hospitals in Cutbank and Chester. She says she sees the new federal Rural Health Transformation Program as a way to get over some of those hurdles.
I think we have that opportunity to develop a very specific plan that will help Montana and make a big difference.
The Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services will have the task of putting together a plan for the state's share of the $50 billion fund. It's going to be a quick turnaround. Last week, DPHHS leaders told a legislative interim committee they only recently received the first federal guidance for how states could use the money.
We have not put pen to paper. There is no draft plan or application yet. That's in motion. We're just starting that process.
Half of the money will be divided evenly, $500 million per state. The rest will be awarded on other criteria, including how rural a state is and the quality of their plan.
There's a lot riding on this one-time application.
State leaders said they want their plan to avoid ongoing expenses when possible.
How do we ensure that the funds are utilized appropriately so that they're not creating this massive funding cliff when they terminate at the end of the 5-year grant period?
Taylor says her organization is just one of many that's already given input on ways they think this funding could help. She says she'd like to see an emphasis on investing in technology, supporting workforce recruitment, and improving availability of mental health services.
We're really looking forward to making rural healthcare thrive and not just survive. And I do believe that this is our opportunity to make that happen.
In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.